filming the whole show tonight. They've got an awesome online show promoting independent metal. So yell at that camera over there.
Icy fingers stretch a rim, fist her ass with severed limbs, crucifix goes sliding in.
What do we have here? How you doing? A little drink? Oh yeah. Whoa, hey, I didn't see you guys there. How you doing?
Bam.
Well, I've known Ray for quite some fucking time.
Me and Andrew met each other fucking back in '96.
2009, I met the rest of these depraved ass fucking pukes at a fucking party
At this house in North Portland.
Place we called Cat Shit Mansion.
It's like wild, crazy, like lingerie parties.
You know, it was Leather Witch and Necro Drunks and fucking...
cocaine everywhere, weed, beer.
Who else played that fucking show?
Met Ray, and he was a big ass dude talking about thrash metal, so got along with him.
He was rocking a Mentor shirt, and I was like, oh fuck, that's badass. Like, Mentors is my shit.
It was a fucking drunken ass, fucking badass time.
Tits, ass, pussy.
Nasty Nate, man, that fucking guy, like...
Nate was living there, banging some chick, fucking stealing her panties and shit. Stolen my panties in my day. You'd be surprised, not every chick thinks that's a bad thing either.
Less laundry to do.
Nasty Nate is a, you know, he's a sexual fucking maniac.
I do love my cheeseburgers.
Seth, you know, he likes to get violent with chicks and, you know, force sex upon them.
We just get drunk and fucking nail pieces of wood together, look like upside down crosses. That's about it.
Dylan is just, you know, he's a disgusting motherfucker. He likes to suck fucking menstrual juices out of tampons.
I take off my shirt and look good for the chicks. That's what I do in the band.
Fucking Ray's just a sick bastard. He likes to fucking, you know, drug chicks up and fucking rape them in a women's stall.
And that's how it's done.
And my dad raised me to be a nasty motherfucker.
This one's called Mass Grave Orgy.
When we first started, we were like, we should start a band because all the other bands around here are all like happy sounding and shit. and that was stupid, we thought.
Well, we were trying to think of a cool-ass name, and
We thought of, you know, names and shit.
Ray brought up the idea Graveyard Lust, and
And we decided Cemetery Lust sounded better.
just went with that.
Me and Ray just sat down one night and started saying like, hey, let's come up with some riffs, and like we threw them together, and like one after another they just kind of popped out. And that's how band practice was. Like we'd all come together, like we'd say, hey, you got a riff, and like someone would come up with one, we put another one, and like the songs just flowed out from there. There wasn't really any like set goal, because I always felt it was better to just let the band happen naturally instead of trying to fit in any kind of mold, because once you do that you start sounding like everyone else, and why would you want to sound like somebody else?
Type of shit, you know, make Christians want to fucking, you know, shit their diapers.
Oh, caramelized onions are the shit, man.
This next song goes out to fucking Jesus Christ. This one's called Come on the Cross.
Andrew drew up the logo.
With Cemetery Lust, it's really fucking nasty and disgusting.
Yeah, bacon, guacamole, put some grilled mushrooms on that motherfucker.
Mainly influenced by death and thrash metal.
Bands like Sarcophago, Sex Trash, and Sepultura, and Infernal Majesty, Sadist, Possessed. I mean, really satanic, like heavy, like, you know, death metal kind of shit for me.
For me, I've always listened to a lot of like old 70s stuff, like Budgie and Uriah Heep, like old Sabbath and Priest. But for the band, you know, a lot of like Sarcophago, old like Brazilian, South American thrash, like lots of German stuff, like Tankard, Creators, Sodom, you know. Then like, you know, lots of English death metal, like Benediction, Nocturnus, stuff like that. But pretty much everything, you know, I listen to all kinds of music as long as it sounds good.
The Misfits was fucking one of the biggest fucking influences on me, pretty much, and I think Andrew also. But we were fucking rocking that shit, and then we were really down with Cannibal Corpse back when we were kids, and then other death metal shit, and then we were really influenced by punk rock a lot too.
We just get up there, fucking play, wear fucking studs and leather and fucking thrash. Fucking heavy metal brain poisoning till the fucking end. Till I wind up in one of these graves. I'll be buried with all my fucking tapes.
Well, I wrote this song. It's about a homeless guy who was a heroin addict, and he was also a sex fiend, and he died shooting up in a peep show booth, and you know, he was brought to some fucking alien crazy motherfuckers that, you know, turned him into a goddamn cyborg, and, you know, his fucking system programmed him to like kill and fucking rape, and that's what he did. And he fucked all these hookers to death, and yeah, that's basically it.
A lot of people call it black thrash, some people call it death thrash. You know, it's just like evil, perverted metal. Some people call it rape thrash. I've heard that one thrown around. You know, but it's definitely thrash metal. There's a lot of black metal influences too. Like, I don't know. I don't really like to put a label on it. It's Cemetery Lust.
People were going fucking nuts, and right then and there I was like, dude, this is gonna be rad. And then, I mean, Portland's been building and building and building up fucking the most fucking coolest fucking metal scene that I've been around, you know?
Yeah, metal's been pretty cool in Portland lately. Fucking there's been a bunch of jack-offs starting pretty cool bands, so I don't know, seems to be cool. Usually people get pretty crazy at the shows and shit, pee on each other, poop.
Well, Portland's scene is great because it's a big city, but it's got that small town feel, so everyone's really closely connected.
I mean, I suppose it's, you know, treated us pretty well. Like 8 years ago, like it seemed like ain't shit was going on, but I don't know, shit's pretty badass, and I know we started from nothing, and I know we gained some pretty decent support from, you know, a lot of people out here in Portland.
Out here in Portland, like, it's so close, everybody's so close together that it turned into like just the fucking most badass fucking beer drinking time. It's cool that motherfuckers are doing their festivals out here, you know, like Black Circle Fest, Nick and Jake, those motherfuckers put on some badass shit. And then you got fucking Chris Nukes, who just put on the Famine Fest.
Yeah, Famine Fest was cool. That was set up by our friend Chris Nukes. He did a good job. He likes to book shows for whatever reason.
And that shit was fucking awesome as fuck. Some blacked out fucking nights, I'll tell you that much. Woke up with a sock in my undies.
He did a great job. It came together well. It was 2 stages going at once, lots of good bands.
And if you really want to know like how good the scene is here, all you got to do is take a trip down south to California, and you'll realize like how amazing that, you know, you can book a show on a Wednesday night in Portland. You don't have to book it. You know what I mean? You don't have to promote it. You don't have to make a flyer, and like, you know, you still get 30 or 40 people coming out. That Seattle scene is just different. I think it's just a different kind of people. You know, the mentality here is just, I don't know. It's really unified. Everyone's kind of on the same page.
Our buddy Jesse Elliott fucking built this coffin, and
then he came out with a mask on, like, you know, everyone started calling him the creep.
Wearing the mask and all that shit. It turned out really cool.
Stage divers are running through the back, jumping out the front. And
hopefully we'll do more shit like that. We're planning on more stuff too. Fucking for some of our other songs. Fucking, it's gonna be nasty as fuck.
they really like brought a lot of people together that normally wouldn't have. So just all the true metalheads, beer drinkers, weed smokers, all that shit. That's what keeps it alive.
Yeah, we played a few pretty cool shows here in Portland. When we were playing with Impiety, it was pretty badass, even though I had to watch him from outside because I was underage.
Portland was fucking awesome, of course. It's pretty cool. Most like bigger tours of like international bands, they'll stop in Portland, and that's pretty cool because I think Seattle gets skipped a lot, which is good. Seattle sucks ass anyway, so. There's a couple good bands there. Chronic Tomb, Warped Vomit, Slut Vomit, Falgaron's cool. We like to hang out in sleazy hotels, do drugs and shit.
Yeah, War Vomit from Seattle is pretty badass. Bone Sickness and Trepanation. Fucking Rude from Oakland is pretty fucking sweet right now. And as far as like Portland bands, there's Crafter, Have the Spez, and just a bunch of shit.
An old school Circle Pit, no fucking zigzag bullshit, fucking fat chubby idiot fucking mosh pit. No bikes, no false metal, no trends. And even in like back in the late 90s too, even though there wasn't as many fans, I don't think, but there was bands that were still trying to do it. Like The Infernal is one of the sickest bands. The older bands, fucking then Fornicator and shit. There's even older shit, Bludgeon and Savior, Wild Dogs, Wehrmacht, obviously.
All of our artwork is done by Brandon Sterling.
He did a lot of other bands too, like Raptor, Spellcaster.
He's a fucking beer drinking some bitch.
He's been consistently doing our artwork for the last 5 years. One of the best artists I know.
Heavy metal maniac.
Dylan got in contact with these guys out at Maryland Death Fest and
was drunk as hell.
And he ran into some of the guys from Nunslaughter who run the Hell's Headbangers label.
I went over, I think we just watched fucking Manila Road or something, actually. That was pretty cool. And then went over to the Hell's Headbangers booth.
they apparently liked one of our releases and, you know, wanted to put our shit up.
They said that they were down to fucking do it, and that's fucking rad, you know?
So we were fucking stoked on that.
Because ever since we formed, in the back of my mind, I was like, hey, you guys, like, Hell's Headbangers is the fucking label for Cemetery Lust.
We have a new album coming out through Hell's Headbangers Records called Orgies of Abomination.
They're reissuing our first album, to Screams of the Violated. Both are going to be on vinyl and CD, and then Headsplit Records is going to do the cassette versions.
We just wrote and recorded over the last 6 months through Mike Lostra over at Smegma Studios, who's been doing punk rock bands and metal bands since the 70s, and you know, he's been a really key part. He just did a documentary about the Satyricon, which is one of the best punk rock metal venues that's ever been through Portland. Death played there, all the legendary bands came through there, and so yeah, the Mentors played there too. It was an honor to record with him and work with that guy, because he's one of the people that's keeping everything alive right now.
Gas Gig.
Kurt's Project.
Poison Idea, Wehrmacht. I mean, Napalm Beach, Obituaries, Dead Moon, Screaming Trees.
Anything could happen.
The sound of a concussive explosion.
I want to give a shout out to Maniac. Those guys fucking shred, and I hope they keep fucking shredding it. And you know, and one more thing, don't tell my girlfriend I was here with this fucking rotten corpse.
Definitely love to give a shout out to April and SLAYED in Oregon. You guys have been promoting all the bands in town for quite a few years now, keeping the scene alive.
I like to give a shout out to Diarrhea. And that's it.
Thanks to all the supporters out there, everybody who supports Headsplit Records and Cemetery Lust, all the true metal. I'll say it fucking 50 more times, all the false metal can go fuck off and eat some shit deep fried. And thanks to SLAYED in Oregon and April for putting together this interview and for fucking supporting Portland heavy metal and the Northwest even too. It's fucking lots of fucking supporters in Oregon. Can't beat that shit. Everybody else in the US just sits on their fucking smartphone and likes things on Facebook all day while they're fucking, I don't know, wishing they were playing heavy metal, but they're not. They're collecting fucking shitty Agalock records or something and fucking putting them on their little tiny needle dicks and spinning them around. So, eat shit.
So, you know, it's as much fog, lights, as crazy shit as you can get. That's, you know, that's the essence of what a great show is to me.
In the next 5 years, I hope to not be on the registered sex offender website.
It's good music. That's why I love doing it.
I was always a big fan of Jason, but probably my favorite horror movie villain is Frank Zito from Maniac.
We're heading over to Rose City Strip, which is like the only heavy metal club in Portland pretty much. You go there any night of the week, they're playing good tunes. They got tons of great dancers, the food's delicious.
He steals panties out of fucking strippers' changing rooms, fucking, I don't even know, that guy, you know, he's a sick bastard, but he means well.
He gets strippers?
He does.
You bet your ass he does.
Headsplit Records started in 2008. tapes are badass, and been putting out fucking releases consistently over the past like 3 years or so. It's just about supporting things that I think need to be supported.
Tonight we have a Famine Fest Northwest special. It's going to be fucking sick. We got everybody here. We got April Jones from SLAYED, Oregon, Warp Vomit, Torture Rack. Yeah, that's Dead Conspiracy, one of our local favorites.
This one is an old one from '87. I wanna see you fucking pick it up. This one's called Cessation.
Oh yeah, that Torture Rack. Got him right here in front of us. You have a caller?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, this is Thrash Zone with Billy Bolt. Who's this?
Hey, this is Pete Shit.
Pete Shit?
Hey, you got is fucking Jason Gregory in the studio.
What do you want with me?
I want to thank Macaulay Culkin for getting us on the show. I mean, Chris Dukla.
So it's about banging chicks on their other rack, and it's awesome. It's super slick. Slide all over the place, ruin the new sheets your grandma just got you, whatever. So it's called Frisky Flow. Any of you chicks out there that are bleeding out your snatches, throw your tampons up here. We'll see what we can do with them, huh? Frisky Flow, bitches! All right, it's about time for a beer break. Everybody take a little drink. Ah, come on, yeah.
We are giving away 2 tickets for Famine Fest for day 1 and day 2.
This is my first show with you, motherfuckers. Thanks for coming out.
Coral from Portland. Glad to be added to this late. Love playing these fests, all these all-day punishers. You metalheads are crazy. Love it. Thunder
Thank you. Good to see you all out here tonight. Who here likes metal?
I am graced by the great band Warp Vomit from Seattle.
Ready for this? We could totally start a band. Alice Cooper, you should not open for Motley Crue. Don't do it. The Crew and you.
Oh, yeah, dude, SLAYED in Oregon. Woo!